Happy Friday. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. You've been some chatting fools in here this morning. Who we got? Let's take attendance. Hello, Matrix Rabbit. How you doing, my friend? Sharon. Girl, you're going to be busy today, and I get to watch both of your podcasts. Oh, and good morning to you and Kevin. Good morning, Sharon. It is going to be a busy day. Should be winding down for the weekend and getting things, tied up for work and everything, but got lots to talk about. Hello, Aggie. Hello, hello. Holly B, I see you got a new nickname, Holly Beans. I can't get that out of my head now. I can't. Outlaw Trucker, good morning. Hey, Katie Bird. Dara Lee, let me put your comment up. Dara Lee said, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Brooks and Kevin. I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed day. Yet another school shooting, huh? Yep. Very, very sickening and frustrating. I have a ton of tabs open right now for things I want to share. If I get kicked out, I'll be right back. You know the drill. Holly said, very sad. My 8-year-old has already been through school shooter training. We're going to talk about that. Yep, we are. We are definitely going to talk about that. It's disgusting. Absolutely sick. Hello, Crystal. How are you doing? I saw in here Kat said she had an urgent problem. Girl, message me. Are you okay? Clark, good morning, YouTube. Absolutely. Good morning from our channel. Good morning, YouTube. That one ginger. Good morning, my friend. Hey, Deb. What's up, girl? Just me. Angela. Hi, babe. Eddie Terry. Good morning. Hello, Danielle. Hey, Kate. Dodging bullets. Think I got everybody. If I miss you, you know the drill. Hey, Riri. Destiny, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Mama Kay, as always, good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. Saw a couple of new names. Please hit that subscribe button. Like the video or dislike it. We do pretty much everything live. I haven't really figured out the trick to making videos, and I like talking to you guys. Not gonna lie, I do. I like the interaction, and it's helpful, I think, even when we get some crazies like Potato yesterday that comes in, just the way I prefer to do it. So anyway, not that there's anything wrong with making videos and putting up. I'm not very skilled. Okay. I'm not very skilled at that stuff. Yeah. Smash that thumbs. Smash it. Oh boy. Kevin has found the emoji that Kat made. Wait till you guys see this. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Brooks. Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone is doing absolutely fantastic.
You bet. You bet. Love the emoji. Love the emoji.
Yeah, thanks. I know. Thank you, Kat.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's pretty funny.
It is hilarious. And Kat made the thumbnail. We've been so fortunate. I was thinking about it this morning. I mean, of course, you work your ass off, Kevin. There's no taking anything away from that. But I mean, we've had so many people. I mean, besides being here every morning or afternoon, whenever we go live, coming in, great, interesting comments, whether they're in the live or they, watch the replay later. But I mean, everything from, sharing the videos to, like the work that Kat does, just roll with it has made, a lot of awesome thumbnails. We've just been very, very blessed, and we can't thank you guys enough. It goes without saying.
Right. That's a fact.
That's a fact,
Jack.
People talking about their weather. Going to be 78 here today in T-Town. Katie said she's going to be
Good Lord.
70. Yep. Yaya likes it. She said, laughing my ass off. I think she's talking about your emoji. It's great. It's great. What's your weather like, Kevin?
I think it's like 30. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's, boy, I don't know. I'll look right quick for sure. Come on, come on, come on, come on. It is 32 degrees here. Cloudy.
Can't. I can't do it. I can't do it, my friend. Won't be visiting you this week. Winter depresses
But
me. Winter absolutely
man,
depresses
I don't
me.
like it when it gets below zero. Ugh.
Y'all said it's gonna be a high
Yeah.
of 40.
When you start getting,
Ooh, ooh,
huh,
Tammy's got
man,
snow.
78's like, that's summertime.
Feels good. Dara Lee said she's
Do
in
you,
Utah
do you
and
even,
it's way too warm for this time of year. I love Utah. Utah is beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, Boomer
do you
Sooner
even
baby.
get snow in Oklahoma?
Occasionally.
Do you
Occasionally.
even get, do you occasionally?
Mhm.
Wow.
We got a fellow Okie in here. Boomer Sooner baby. Yeah, how you feel about our coach? 79 degrees here in OKC. Yep, that's what it's going to be here today. I'm not far from you, my friend. Holly's always wanting snow. Can you please send Holly Beans some snow, Kevin?
Yes, I will. I'll send her some. Oh, she can have all mine.
There you go, Holly Beans.
Yeah.
Kevin's going to send it all
Yep.
to you, baby. He don't want
Yep.
his.
I can send squirrels too. So
That squirrel joke is never going to get old. I'm sorry.
I
That is
know there were tons of them outside this morning. There was 5 of them running after each other. Yep.
Holly B's excited about the snow. She just put on there. She said frolics, frolics, frolics. For those of you that were here yesterday, thank you for being here for the live for Ryan Rogers. That is a really heartbreaking, depressing case. Every case is important. Every victim is important. And that if you have time and you weren't in here, go back and watch the replay. Share the video if you can, because what happened to that poor kid is just beyond disturbing. And
Yeah.
on to disturbing. This happened in your state, Kevin. A school shooting in
Yep.
Oxford, Michigan. Wow.
Yes, it did.
They originally reported 3 students were killed. Now it's 4. Tate Meyer,
Yeah.
16. Madison Baldwin. Hannah St. Juliana, she was 14. Justin Schilling, I think I've got that name right. He's the last one that had passed away.
Yeah.
Wow.
The one of them passed away day before yesterday. Yep.
It is very upsetting, and I just cannot understand why this keeps happening and why our schools are not safe for the kids. Holly Beans brought up earlier that her son is 8 and has gone through a school drill for like an active shooter. Okay, obviously I'm older than 8. But when I was in school, the drills were for fire and tornado. Because like I said, I live in Oklahoma. We had tornado drills and we had fire drills. I don't know what the hell my parents would have done if I said, hey, we have to have a drill in case there's an active shooter at school. But it's so commonplace now.
There's been what since this year? There's been 42 nationwide.
I did not hear
Or
that
something like.
Seriously?
Yeah, something like that. If I can't get on Google because I use StreamYard.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, something like I'm gonna have to go back and take a look at that of how many there have been, and it's unbelievable. It's like, are you serious? Crazy,
Well, not to mention
crazy,
the
crazy.
panic it put across the state. They closed 60 other schools that day and the next day
Right.
because they were afraid of like some sort of a copycat. And remember, these kids, whether they've been bullied, there's problems at home, they're mentally ill or whatever, they don't think it through. They think that, they're going to show them. It doesn't cross their mind. I'm going to be in jail for life. I'm going to be in jail for life. Tammy said schools are still closed. Gotta be kidding me. Gotta be kidding me.
Yep.
Gotta be kidding me. Nope. All right, so
What I think is terrible, just imagine how many kids are too terrified to even go back to school now, you know?
I'm glad you brought that up
Because,
because I was wondering, what do you do if your child says, I don't feel safe going to school? You know, mom has to work, dad
right?
has to work. I mean, someone in the house has to go to work. Um, what do you do? And
I know.
as a school system, how do you reassure the parents that it won't happen again?
You can't. It could happen anywhere, really. Think about it.
No, you're right.
It's terrible. It could happen anywhere on any day.
Yeah. Yeah. Hang on.
So I guess I don't know, as a school, as the higher ups in the school districts and all that, what do you do? I mean, you can only do so much, you know? I don't know. What are they going to do? Start patting people down and keep them in a classroom that has a cage so they can't get out? Or, I mean, what do you do? Oh, do we lose you, Brooks? I think we lost Brooks. Oh well, we can still keep going. But what do you do about it? I mean, um, how do you design your school to where it can't happen? It's just, you know, it's just unbelievable. It's a really bad problem nowadays. You know, we never, like, when I was going to school, we didn't have to worry about nothing like this. It was like maybe a fist fight after school, you know, all the kids gathered around to watch a fight, you know. Somebody got
Oh,
socked in the eye or something.
nope, I agree. And Crystal says, how much responsibility should the parents have in this? Obviously, these children are getting a hold of their parents' guns. The father had just bought the gun
Yep.
at the Black Friday sale on Friday. I don't believe for a minute he bought it with the intention of his son going to school and doing this. Now, the morning of,
No.
Ethan and his parents met with people at school, and I'm not sure if it was a discipline problem, odd behavior, something they
Yes.
wanted to discuss, or what it was. But he had the gun with him in that meeting, from what I
Yeah.
understand. Mom and dad go home.
Yeah. I'm not against guns whatsoever. The only thing is, it's a shame that that gun wasn't locked up. It should, you know, that's on the parent. You know, that is their fault for not securing that gun. I mean, you got to take responsibility. It should have been locked up. On the other hand, I doubt if they woke up that day thinking their son was going to go do a shooting, a massacre at the school. But
No, I don't
you
think so.
know,
I really wish they would
if
have
you
gone
outlaw
home.
guns, if you outlaw guns, only criminals are going to have them. I mean, the thing of it is it's just a shame that here they are with that meeting with the parents and the kid had the gun the whole time. Oh,
And it's also a shame that they didn't go home and realize that the gun was gone and maybe make a call to the school. When, I mean, did they even realize? I just wonder. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think the parents had an idea that he was going to go do that. I, but the thing of it is the police, he had a journal, and in the journal he talked about killing kids at school. But what's going to be interesting is for them to read all through that journal and all that, and just find out how many warning signs did this kid give, And why did the school send him back to class that day? That's a big controversy right now that they're talking about. There's some evidence that one of the teachers said that there was some disturbing things that were said, but yet they sent him back to class that day. So, but he already had the gun with him. So, I don't know. It's just a shame.
No, Darrell, you're right. Guns are not a toy. They're not a toy. If you
Nope.
want to protect your home and yourself and you have a gun, but you have to be safe about it. Just like everything else, you have to be safe about it. I don't think that the parents thought for a minute that their child would be capable of this. Now, I read this morning the DA is considering charges against the parents. Now, they did this with Columbine, and they did not charge the parents, but the children, the families of the children that were killed civilly sued the parents. I mean, they were having to remortgage their homes and everything. So
Yeah.
they can definitely.
Well, when I was a kid, we played cowboys, when we were kids, and we had little guns and stuff, or play army or whatever. That didn't mean you're going to go out and kill somebody. That's as old as, look at A Christmas Story. He gets a BB gun for Christmas. You'll shoot your eye out. I'm just saying that when we were kids, just because you got a toy gun for Christmas, that's it. People take some of this to the extreme, kind of.
Well, it's definitely
people don't kill people. Guns.
It's definitely very extreme. This kid had problems. Somebody in that house was not recognizing he had a problem, and 4 kids are dead. It's not. I'm not going to even talk about the gun anymore. Too many people are trying to politicize this. This kid is sick.
Yep.
8 people. 8 people. 4 will never be back. They've been murdered. 4 are in the hospital. Not to mention the traumatic effects when kids have to start going back to school on Monday. It's going to be a little tough to teach American history when you know what happened outside in that hallway.
Yeah, the real story is, what was this kid's behavior before this happened? That's where the real story is. I don't know. That's going to all be revealed one day. But I would have to think that this kid had some problems for a while. I don't know if he hit him or his parents just ignored it, or evidently the school had concerns with him. They called the parents in on that day that it happened.
Yeah,
for the way he was acting.
Was up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Celeste brought up a good point. They bring toy guns to school to get attention, and they'll have to lock the whole school down. So I'm going to show a Snapchat video real quick. Hang on.
We're in lockdown right now. We're in lockdown right now. Whole windows are shut. He's living up to his word. Bro, my camera's so dog shit. Bro, why is my camera so dog shit when it zooms in?
We're not willing to take that risk right
Fuck!
now.
3 dead, 6 injured.
Sick. Okay, so let's discuss this. And we can agree to disagree. We know how our community is. I'm just throwing some things out there. Should teachers be armed? It was brought up in Oklahoma at one time. Should teachers be armed?
No.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm. No. I think if that, I don't know. Yeah, that's a touchy thing there. I say yes and I say no. There's pros and cons to that on both. I mean, it I don't know. Officers aren't allowed to carry their guns into court. I know that. But what do you think?
Well, I'm going through right now. I don't think it's a bad idea. I don't mean every teacher, because if you're not comfortable with the weapon, you shouldn't have it. No one should make
Right?
you, get a gun and go to the shooting range and learn how to shoot it. I think it should be voluntary if they want, because I mean in Oklahoma we can open carry. I
Thing
don't
of it is, man.
I'd be more afraid of a kid getting a hold of the gun.
Right?
Norma
You
says
pull
yes.
the trigger.
Hang
You
on. Norma says yes. Anna says no. Just Me says yes. Tammy, no. Imre, yes. Matrix, no. Darilee, no. Crime Time, no. Crime Time yesterday. Law enforcement said that was not the shooter. It was the cops. Well, then they should have better identified themselves, because when he was talking to the teenager and he said, bro, they assumed it was a kid and they got the hell out of there.
Yeah, I don't. The thing of it is if you got a gun, man, and you do, I mean, they give teacher a gun, and that teacher pulls that trigger, you better be willing to. There's going to be consequences, good and bad. you know, I don't. It's such a big. I mean, there's more arguments started about guns than, I
Yeah, we're
mean,
not talking about
political.
guns. We're just talking about safety. So, guys, we're
I
not
know,
debating guns. Who should have a gun? We're talking about school safety.
right?
Like you and I were talking this morning, Kevin. This isn't about the Constitution or the right to
No,
carry. But like Polly said, more resource officers in the halls at all time, ready for anything. Okay. Yeah,
you could
ready
do
for
like,
now. I
remember
was
Archie?
reading some
Me-
comments on like different articles that are up, about the Michigan school shooter. And you always get the extremists, man. Always get one. It was a little
Yeah,
hard not to read every comment while they were attacking this guy. He said, I think we should arm every student in the school. Woo, could you imagine?
that's like, yeah. You remember the show All in the Family with Archie Bunker?
Mm-hmm.
Do you, yeah, that's what he said about hijackers. He said, just give everybody on the plane a gun.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Okay, so you brought up a really good point, okay, because you brought up airplanes. Okay, why is it safer? Why is there more protection to get on a plane if you go to the courthouse? Let's say you're going down to the courthouse and you have to go appear in traffic court, okay? You have to give them your cell phone. You have to walk through a metal detector, because no one's going to harm that judge. You know what I mean? But in school, there's no just come on in. Danielle, thank you, honey buns. Thank you for the $20, and thank you for being here. Thank you for all you do. So
Yep.
think about that, Kevin. Why is it safer to go pay a traffic fine or get on a plane than it is to send our kids to school?
Yeah. Something, you know what? It's the thing of it is something's going to have to be done about this. And like I was just talking in chat while you weren't on there, but what do you do? I mean, what is the solution to stop? What can these schools do to avoid this ever happening again? Is it possible?
Well, in chat, a lot of people are saying, metal detectors,
Yep.
at every door, a school resource officer, even if it's a deputy from the sheriff's department that is at the school, and that's their regular beat. Something.
Yeah. They should have U.S. Marshals, I guess, at school then.
They
The
do
thing
on
of it
airplanes.
is,
They do on
thing of it
airplanes.
is,
They do on
even with
airplanes.
metal detectors, they'll figure out a way to get around a metal detector at school. They're
Good luck.
just,
Good luck. What are they going to do? How? If you've got metal on you, it's going to detect it.
I don't know. It just seems there's always a way that somebody beats. I don't know. I just think it's something that the higher ups need to really look at buckling down on these schools. And I guess go back to, damn near like, being searched. I mean, metal detectors, then you got, if the thing goes off, then you got to search the person and all that. And then you'll have people saying, well, it's against my right. But they're going to have to do something. Something needs to be done, in my opinion.
Yeah, guys, I saw it. I'm sorry. I'm just being kind of slow today. Yeah, Danielle said this is why my kids are homeschooled. Sal 80 says we have them in central Pennsylvania schools, full-time law enforcement. Full-time law enforcement. Yeah, do it. Full-time law enforcement.
That's what it's going to take.
Quit taking funding away from the police. Let them do their job. Yeah, I know there's some nasty bastards out there. I know it. Wasn't born last night. But come on. Why are we not
That's what it's good.
Why are we not protecting?
Yeah, that's what it's going to take is full-time security. You know what I mean? Yep. That's exactly what you're going to have to do.
Well, and Dodging Bullet said it's a police state. It's protecting the kids. I get what you're saying because, I mean, there's armed guards at the damn casino. All right? There's armed guards at the casino. And Technogirl, you're right, and Kevin's right. Where there's a will, there's a way. You're exactly right. Nothing is foolproof. Nothing is foolproof. They can figure it out if they really want to.
Yep. Thing of it is, though, if they at least do something like that, it would make it harder. Right?
Yeah, they'd have to be a lot more inventive.
Mm-hmm.
They would. They would. Holly said at her kids' school they have to have clear or mesh backpacks. I actually like that idea. I do. Hang on.
Well, it's just sad.
Wants to come up real quick. Go ahead, Kevin. I apologize.
It's just sad that we have to be like this. This has to be this way. Like I was saying earlier, back when I went to school, it was just like fist fights. Somebody got punched in the eye. Their eye was bleeding. Oh my God. But now it's, some kid brought an AK and, it's unbelievable. The times have changed.
And I agree.
It's not.
It starts at home. If your kid is picking on another kid incessantly, no, don't do that. Don't do that. You correct that problem. If your child is reserved to themselves and their internet history is a little sketchy, do something. The thing is,
I wonder if
parents can't wrap their minds around their child doing the unthinkable. Leah said, metal detectors, searchers, police, and schools won't stop if they want to shoot outside the school doors. Yeah, they could take it somewhere else. You're exactly right. If they want to.
I wonder if bullying comes into this picture anywhere. If he was being bullied or if he was bullying people,
I want to know too.
Usually bullying is involved somehow. Usually it is. Well, who knows, man? Maybe this kid.
Thank you for the $10. You are awesome. We love the support, guys. Thank you. Thank you. She said, instead of spending so much on unnecessary money, let's put it in the school safety and our education. Schools are on the back burner in this world. I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. They'd rather fight over stuff. Oh, Crime Time said, both parents have DWIs, so they're both probably drunks. Well, I guess
Yep, they do.
They weren't drunk Wednesday morning because they went to the school.
They both have DUIs, check fraud, um, failure to appear. Yeah, they brought out the parents' background too.
God, they sound like Dawn and Candace. Oh, Crime Time said kids said he was being bullied. The first time I
Yep.
heard about a school shooting, yep, could be some stuff at home too. I was living in Oxford, Mississippi, and there was a shooting in Pearl, Mississippi. And I don't remember the boy's name that died or the one that killed him. But I mean, that kid was a target. I mean, he was a very overweight kid, a lot of acne, very awkward, always wore like Hawaiian shirts and, just wasn't popular. And he was being bullied badly by this kid. And he had a gun with him all day long. He got on the bus at the end of the day, walked right to that kid's seat and killed him. And I was just like, wow, I can't believe no one at that school noticed what was going on. I cannot believe it was really hard not to feel bad for both of them. I know some people.
And here's the other thing: give the teachers more responsibility, but pay them less. Yeah.
But I mean,
You
I
know,
was thinking to myself, I felt bad for both of them because it was so. I mean, one kid is in jail for the rest of his life. He might be out now. I don't know. I have to look. And then another one is dead. How did they not notice? Sarah said they noticed, they didn't care. Well, nobody has taken money away from the teachers. They don't get their pay docked. But you're right. I mean, if they have to be armed guards too, I wouldn't do it for that amount of money. No way. Forget that.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to. You know what? If you're a teacher and they give the teachers gun, and you have to kill a kid to save a bunch of them, that is a split-second decision. When you got a gun and you got your finger on the trigger, you better be ready to face all the mental anguish that's going to come with it too. Because either right or wrong, when you kill somebody, I've never killed someone, but I know some Vietnam vets that killed many of people, and it still bothers them to this day.
Ugh.
Even though they were the enemy, they'll never forget the first time they killed somebody and seen it. I mean, you better be able to suck in them consequences. That's for sure.
Well, and I know you've done
It's not an easy thing.
A lot more reading on this than I have. Do we know yet if he was targeting specific people or if this was just rage?
All I know is from everything I've read, it was due to anger issues.
Wow.
So
hang on,
this kid.
Crime Time said no one fights with fists anymore. That's what they used to have to break up.
Yeah, fist fight. Somebody got punched in the eye. And if they were bleeding, that was like big news. Now it's they have 10 gunshot wounds to the chest. Just unbelievable how times are just changing.
Another comment I saw, because I like to read other people's opinions. It wasn't in here, but it was on this news article, and they said the media shouldn't even talk about it. They shouldn't even bring it up. That way kids don't get the idea. I don't know. I was just like, wow, I guess that's a thought. Can't really hide something so horrific, but I just don't dig them, using it for politics. I just don't.
Right.
It's going to come up. Hang on. Good morning. How are you today?
Hey, Brooks. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, buddy.
If they would have put a trigger lock on that gun, he wouldn't have been able to fire it.
That's what I'm saying. I told Brooks that this morning.
It's $12.
I know.
All the people have to do is properly store their guns. Lock up the guns, put trigger locks on them, make sure the ammunition is
I have 8 guns, and they're all locked in a case, and they got trigger locks on them, so my grandkids could never fire. I mean, plus there's no shells where the guns are. You keep the bullet
That's what I'm
somewhere else.
Well, that's the point. I mean, a little bit of education, and this wouldn't
Yep.
happen.
You're exactly right.
Oh, I agree. I mean, you should always be safe with your guns. Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate. Let's say his dad, he bought the gun at a Black Friday sale, whatever. He had it locked up. He had a trigger lock and everything like that. Look at the Columbine kids. Hell, they were making pipe bombs and everything. There's other ways to cause harm to people. Shouldn't we be paying more attention to our children, whether it's at home, at school, both, working together, parents and teachers, to try to solve
Absolutely.
the problem?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing that this kid didn't have issues before this. I guarantee you that this kid is been having some issues for a while. I'll bet on that.
But it's like you said, Brooks.
He just didn't wake up one day and decide to go kill a bunch of kids.
No.
No,
And guys,
I don't believe
we have
that.
3 people on panels, so we have to do one at a time. It gets really confusing for chat if we're talking over each other. And I'm the worst about it, okay? I'm the
Oh,
worst.
so am I.
No, you're not near as bad as me, Kevin. All right,
I get
Leah said, shootings like this aren't an issue in the UK, but the knife crime is atrocious among the younger generation. Yeah, where there's a will, there's a way. And I love this comment. Hang on, Danielle, you blew it out of the water here. Give the teachers and principals the paddle back. It didn't kill us to get our asses whooped. No.
It's true.
I got a
That is
paddle.
very, very true. I got paddles in school.
My assistant principal, he let my ass up.
No, my teacher did. My one teacher did. And then he would send me down to the principal, and I get it from him too.
Yep.
Here's the thing: if corporal punishment, which kind of on the fence about it, but anyway, people be suing the damn schools all the time, and the kids.
Oh yeah,
dodging bullets. Said, hell, the kids nowadays, they'd fight back. They'd whip the shit out of the teacher, and they take them to court.
Yeah, see, that's what we're living in. Those are the times we're living in. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. You can't do anything right. You got somebody fucking running with, the whole thing. It's the way it is now. You're right. You'd be sued if you lay a hand on a damn kid right now at school.
Joey Petcher said that's exactly what you're telling them not to do.
Right. My PE teacher in the 5th grade, if you didn't do push-ups right, he had a leather whistle strap. He'd come by the boys, and he would smack you on the back of the legs with it. Now, if they did that now, well, you're going to jail. It's just the way it is.
All true.
That's terrible. It's just the way it is. It's like, just let the kids run wild, I don't know. There's just so many. Who knows what to do about this?
I don't want anybody laying hands on my kids. It's just a point. We can agree to disagree.
No.
I don't want anybody touching my kids at all.
Right.
But Kevin, look how well you turned out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the whistle. And then I went to Catholic schools, and the nuns were meaner than the public school. We had this one nun. She'd make you hold your hands out, and she would smack your knuckles with the ruler, but she'd hold the ruler sideways.
Mm-hmm.
That shit hurt. But you can't. They don't do that nowadays because you'll be in big trouble if you even lay a hand on a kid.
I think physical punishment. I think physical punishment makes kids more aggressive, more anxious, and they act out more. I mean, it's been proven. I mean, if you do that to a child, I don't mean slapping their hand if they try to touch something hot, but I mean, if you're actually spanking, hitting a child.
Shit. My dad did. We got ass whoopings.
Aggressive.
Yeah. Either that or the parents
I
have to
got
put the
my
fear of God into people, into their kids about the gun, saying, once you pull the trigger, you can't take it back.
nope. You can't. That's what I'm saying. The consequences of pulling a trigger are huge. You better be ready to accept what comes with it. You kill
Exactly.
somebody, that's not something you want to live with every day. I'll
Well, I'm
tell
saying
you
you don't
that.
even have to kill him. I mean, just to shoot him. Even if you wound
Right.
him, it's still going to
Yep.
mess you up. And I
Yep.
don't think the teachers should
It
have guns
does.
because it's a split-second decision that they're not ready to make. A cop is.
I'm more,
Exactly. You
Cop,
I'm
are
more worried about
100% correct.
I'm more worried about if teachers are armed, a teacher not paying attention at the chalkboard, walked out of the room to talk to a student, another teacher, and a kid getting a hold of the gun, not to do anything, but to be funny. You know how kids are,
mm-hmm,
and an accident happening. I like
exactly.
the idea that,
Yep.
everyone in chat has said, just have the police there. Don't call them when it's too late.
I forget who wrote it, but somebody put something really in there like, I'm a military vet. They could have us do it if they really wanted to. We know
I
how
mean,
to
think about that.
properly.
There you go.
Yeah. And there are people,
That's a
believe
good
it or not,
idea.
there are
I mean,
people, believe
I
it
would
or
do it.
not, retired vets, retired law enforcement that would volunteer their time to keep the schools safe. I guarantee it. I
Yep.
guarantee
Oh
they.
yeah.
That's a great
I mean,
idea.
I would
That
do it
is
in a
a
heartbeat.
great idea. Yeah, so, man, I'd hate to have to shoot a kid. God, that would just be terrible.
But they
I
also
can't
have
even
other
imagine. I
skills where,
mean,
they have other skills though where they don't have to shoot the child that comes out with a gun.
right.
They can tase them. They can restrain them in a different way. It's a kid, for God's sake. They don't have law enforcement training. They would have military training.
Yeah.
They can also talk them down. They have de-escalation skills. They can talk them down.
They need to do something, right? Something needs to be done. I hope, and sadly, this may not even. Nothing is gonna. It's gonna be the same every day, but the higher ups really need to sit down and figure out a solution to this problem. They really do, because it isn't going to go away on its own.
It starts at
I
home.
just don't.
I just can't say it
Yep,
enough.
it
It starts
does.
at home. The school does not
It
raise
does.
the child. It just doesn't work that way. I mean, there's no perfect parent out there. None of us are perfect.
That's for sure.
I just think it's all nuts. And also social media. I mean, people can think, be made to think one way when it's not really true.
Mm-hmm.
Misinformation. I mean, just look at all the stuff with Summer and Gabby Petito and all that. All the misinformation that was out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we didn't have that growing up. At least I didn't. I mean, I didn't
No,
see
I didn't
social media
either.
until I was
So,
almost 30.
right.
Well, and you're right. And the
Yeah, I
kids,
never got.
and you're right, because this is a totally, totally different world. I mean, yeah, we had internet at home when my kids were growing up, but they weren't really allowed to use it. They didn't have smartphones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They had like a cell phone. They could call me, they could text me. But as far as instant access to the internet, they didn't have that until they were like 16 years old. So it's like they get bullied at school, then they get home and they get on to Snapchat or whatever they're into. I mean, they're all too cool for Facebook because nobody wants to be on the same platform as, their parents, sharing their baby pictures. And then they're bullied on there too. And it's not like, when you had a problem at school and, you go home and you eat and, tomorrow's a new day, it still hurts and you're still anxious and you're still worried. But with social media and it not being monitored, they could be harassed through all hours of the night. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. A constant barrage of harassment would drive anybody crazy.
Yeah.
After a while.
And let's face it, guys.
Hell, I didn't even get on.
Hell, Kevin, you're not even on Facebook.
I didn't even know about. I didn't even get on social media to my late 50s. You know, I didn't even know how to. I didn't even know how to text somebody. But you're right. Social media has really, it's done good, but it's done a lot of bad too. It really has.
Well,
It-
I mean, well,
It is the
Sorry, Brooke.
lesser of two evils. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, what is it? For everyone
Yeah.
to be informed 24/7 and have information at your fingertips at all time, or then we have the other part of it, which you and I are very well aware of, Kevin. People that think that they can just say to you whatever they want, whether it's
Yep.
about people's physical appearance, doxing, or just making people's lives hell just because they can and they know nothing's going to happen to them. And, we talk about, our children and they're little angels, they're innocent, and don't tear me up, but kids can be mean.
Kids are vicious.
Kids
Period.
can
they are.
be mean.
Yeah, kids can be very cruel. You're going to maybe chew me up. Some of the worst are girls.
Oh boy, yeah. And they don't
Girls are vicious. Let's pick on this girl today, you know? It's just I'm not saying guys don't that's not what I'm saying, but you're right. Kids can be really, really mean. They can.
Well, and I'm going to tell you a secret, and I know none of you guys will repeat it. Some of those girls never outgrow it. I don't
Yeah.
care if they're 30, 40. I don't care if they're almost 80. They don't grow out of it.
Well, look at the
guys are more like guys are more like, okay, get in a fight, I'll punch you in the face, and then it's over. Man, I seen I'm just saying, women can be the okay, I'll just say my wife. There's been times when she can just be mean. I'm like, God, let it go. But it's just, I'm not saying that one sex is different. That, so let's don't go there. Um, but yeah, overall, kids can be really mean. But on the other hand, they don't really realize the consequences of what they're saying. Like, you're ugly, you're fat, you're stupid, I hate you, you know, and that really, really bothers some kids, you know.
But it bothers
So,
adults too. And when people are talking
yes,
about
it does.
what goes on the internet and the cyberbullying, and they're like, oh, well, that's just Facebook. That's just a keyboard warrior. That's just this. It's a troll. It still hurts. It still bothers you, especially when it crosses into your personal life. It shouldn't happen.
No, it shouldn't.
I think one of the worst things to say to somebody that's got a weight problem, is to say, look, and be really mean and say, you're just fat and ugly. I mean, that is, and how many kids say, I mean, you hear that, you're stupid. You don't, you're not going to hang around with us, or their little cliques or whatever. Well, some kids, emotionally, that tears them up.
Mhm.
And it's sad to see it happen, but I guess that's part of growing up. I don't know. Y'all be the judge.
It is part of growing up because there's mean people at school, there's mean people in college, there's mean people at work, there's
Yep.
mean people on the
Yep.
internet, there's mean people at the damn store. So yeah, at some point you have to have a thick skin and learn how to separate what matters and what doesn't. But as a
Yep.
child who hasn't developed and they feel like their life is hell, that's
Right.
a little different,
Yeah, I just I mean, there's been times, when my granddaughter or grandson will say something to me that a kid said to him or something, and I'm like, it just like breaks your heart. It's like, man, I wish it wasn't that way, but it is, and you got to learn. But the main issue here is what are they going to do with the schools? How are we going to solve this problem?
And we've
Well,
had a
many-
lot of great ideas in here. I've got to address a couple comments real quick. Green-eyed girl, she said, so far here in Michigan, 3 girls have been arrested due to making these copycat threats. Exactly.
Yeah.
Good God.
Girl, 3 girls.
3 girls, yeah. So it's not a boy
I
problem.
told you they're vicious.
You're right. You're right. And you're married to the meanest one, Kevin. My God, I can't.
I am. In the whole world. She's the meanest.
Oh, my husband will tell you the same thing because it's nothing like him to get on my last nerve. And next thing you know, I'm bringing up something from 7 years ago. And
Yep.
I'm going, how the hell do you remember this? All right, Joy
Yep.
Catcher. They want acceptance from the outside instead of looking at their own gifts. And it's sad. You're right. They want to be with the cool kids. They want friends. They want to be a part of something. They aren't mature enough to develop their own gifts, and and they do. They're looking for acceptance. And sometimes the
That's
kids
sad.
are being bullied. I can't hit that link, Crime Time. It says agenda-free TV status. Let me look real quick.
I mean, like nowadays, it's like, if you don't have on the coolest tennis shoes, you're an outcast, or make fun of the clothes, kids of what they wear because they can't afford the Abercrombie and Fit or whatever it is, and that's so sad that you get picked on just because you can't afford the coolest shoes. I don't know.
From Fox.
Okay, hold on, guys.
Source: charges expected against shooter's parents following rampage.
Yep.
Details at noon ET. Right? So we'll see if this actually ends up being charges. Now, I see some people asking about. I've seen some people asking about what would the charges be. That I don't know. I'll show you some of the quotes. The prosecutor, Karen McDonald, has been giving some interviews lately, the basic flavor from what I've seen, and I'll show you some of the quotes from her, is that it sounds like she doesn't feel that the parents did enough to keep it sounds like they don't. The prosecutor. It sounded to me like the prosecutor thought the parents didn't do enough to keep a weapon out of the hands of a person who was a danger for something like this. Now, I don't know what the specific charges would be. I'm going to try to find a couple, some analysis of that. But she hasn't specifically said. I mean, she hasn't even said that they would be charged, and she hasn't said the specifics. But
No, she did.
But I'll show you some of the quotes from what what she said. What she did say, I can tell you this, is last night in an interview with Anderson Cooper, she said information would be released today that shows that the shooting was probably preventable. She definitely said that last night because I saw the interview, and she said in that interview with Anderson Cooper last night, she said information will be released today, which shows that the shooting was probably preventable. And she said that during a discussion of whether the parents would be charged. So it just seems like she doesn't think the parents did what they would normally be expected to do to prevent this from happening.
No.
So here's another quote from her, from this Fox 2 article. She said previously, "We know owning a gun means securing it properly locked up and keeping ammunition separate and not allowing access to other individuals, especially minors." Maybe that could be,
Okay. So the press conference is in an hour. I don't know what all the noise is, so I'm going to have to do some muting. Hang on.
It's me. I'm driving. Brooks.
Oh, okay. Actually,
I
I don't hear any noise on your end.
Oh, okay. But anyway, I just
anyway,
wanted to come. I just
okay,
wanted
hang
to
on.
come up. All right.
So what they're saying is, okay, so they're looking to charge the parents. They believe it was preventable. Well, it was preventable by the school too. Okay, so we're not going to let them off.
Yeah, okay.
They
Yeah,
sent them
let's
back
don't
to
forget
class.
this. This guy didn't fully complete his statement because there is evidence, and this is what the lady said. There is evidence from the school meeting that was disturbing that another teacher heard and why they let this kid go back to class. Something was said at the school to where action should have been taken right there. He didn't mention that. That's part of this thing that's coming out today. So we're going to see exactly what that was.
And they will charge the parents for something. But here's something that everyone
Yep.
needs to remember. There are other school shootings where the parents have been held accountable, whether it's a criminal charge for not locking up their guns or they were civilly sued by the parents of the victims. It didn't stop anything. Hence, we're here today. Okay, Outlaw Trucker, go ahead.
I
Sorry.
apologize. I
No,
apologize
you're
for that.
fine.
But anyway, what I wanted to come up to demonstrate and explain, it's all about a lot of us parents don't know what's going on or what the kids are doing and what the records are until we get that pink slip back. Okay, it's not really the kids' responsibility because all social media has turned them the words evil. But what I'm trying to get back is the parents do have a record of DUI and also a lot of stuff. But what did the kid actually do at home and get bullied? Because, and he, for example, he comes up to ask dad, can I go to the skate park or something like that? And then when he's drunk, he's going to be belligerent. He's going to knock that kid silly. So what had the kid learn? Nothing.
No.
So he's just going to learn on anger and the hateful of everything that's around. And he's going to take that on rage, and he's going to sooner or later going to pop the snap and do damage. But the school has not seen all the red flags to help this kid to get him the people that he needs to turn himself around. So it can actually go back to the school as well on this situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he was probably getting it at school and at home.
Yeah, on both sides.
I'm just trying to figure out what they're going to charge them with because not locking up their guns.
The only thing they can charge them with.
Is it a state law?
I think the only thing they can charge them with.
Is it a state law in Michigan that your guns have to be locked up at all times? Is it a state law that there has to be a trigger lock on them?
Yes.
In Michigan, you have to keep your guns locked up. Okay.
And you got to have a trigger lock. And it's also the same as Illinois. You also got to have a trigger lock and unload it. And you got to have a zip tie to lock the chamber back as well before use.
Yeah, I've got a trigger lock and a zip tie on my guns. You can't, there's no way my grandkids should. And not only that, I don't even keep my bullets where my guns are. Now, I do have a gun for personal safety that's loaded, but yeah, that's the one thing that these parents I think are going to get in trouble for is not locking that gun up. I think they should have done that. So that's my opinion, though.
Yeah, that's your
Yeah, I don't.
And if it's the law in Michigan, it should have been locked up. Green-eyed Girl said there is no law in Michigan that they can find. This is why the parents have yet to be arrested, but believe they're searching high and low to charge the parents. And they will. They're going to find a way to make an example out of the parents. But I promise you right now, I hope it never, ever, ever happens again. I have a sneaking suspicion that it will because no one's going to look at that and think it can happen in their home. Okay?
Yeah,
And
let me prove. Go ahead. I always think you're done talking, and I blat out my mouth. So
I'm never done talking, Kevin.
yeah, you don't have to have your guns locked. I mean, Michigan, there's not a per se law. I just do it because of shit like this. Anything could happen, or even worse, your grandkids get into a gun and they accidentally kill themselves because you didn't lock your gun up.
And they're playing around. Yeah. No, you're doing the same thing. What I'm asking is it the law in Michigan that your guns have to be locked up?
No, I don't. No, I don't believe there is.
Okay, because we have several people from Michigan.
I am going to. I'll be back. I'm going to go find out. I'll be right back.
Okay. Just Me said teaching gun safety does not make you a bad parent. Absolutely not.
Nope.
No. Every one of my kids knew gun safety. Hell, 3 in the military, they know gun safety. Okay.
And again,
Green-eyed girl said no.
And I went through a gun safety course when I was at 8 years old with the city police department.
Mm-hmm. AJ said, hi, you all. Kevin's mic is very loud. You'll have to adjust your volume. I don't know what equipment people use at home. I have no idea. When he comes back on, I can try to adjust it from my end. But Janet, yes, it is. What? Yes, it is.
Can't bring up another one, Brooks.
What's that?
Can't bring up another one, an incident.
Another? What would you say? Bring up another incident?
Yeah.
Of what?
It was revolving when I was on the carnival, and we was around Arkansas, and there was a sheriff, and he was like a fresh somewhere or junior, and he was on the downer drugs and all that, and the parents didn't even know any situation that what he was going through, and he was getting bullied at school. He was being harassed by certain girls and all that. Then he turned around and he had his girlfriend knocked up, which they didn't know until she took the test. And while I was down there, I was having a friend on the phone, and somehow or some way he just tripped and he went way out in the cornfield and shot himself.
Hello?
Hey, Kevin.
Hey, buddy. No, in Michigan, you do not have to have your guns locked up at all. There is no law. But, so there is some local, different areas of legislation, but no, overall, nope, you don't have to have them locked up. But anyone that's a gun owner, and you got kids around or whatever, I strongly encourage you to lock your guns up.
What's the
I mean, kids can get a hold of a gun and just start playing with it, They don't think about it could go off.
StreamYard kicked Brooks out. She'll be right back.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I'm right here.
Okay.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, I think we're focusing too much on the guns as opposed to how to keep our kids safe in school. But I mean, it's fine. It's neither here nor there. It's not the law in Michigan. Kevin, you looked it up. I looked it up myself. Green-eyed girl said they would have been arrested if that was the case.
True.
Channel News just had a lawyer on there. There is no such law. And like Green-eyed girl said, but a responsible gun owner would have their guns locked up. Yeah, especially when you have a kid in the house. The Scorpion has arrived. Hello, Scorpion. So I don't know. I mean, I think it starts at home. I mean, you can't legislate good parenting. I think we have some other cases where we've seen that. You just can't.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think, what was I going to say now? I think we need to identify when the kids are troubled before it gets to this point. I mean, the parents need to, and teachers and everybody need to get together a lot more if there's a troubled kid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was a trouble kid, but I knew if I took a gun to school, that would be it for me for the rest of my life. And I had problems, but I never took a gun out. Worst I got was a bloody nose. You know what I mean, from a fight.
Yeah.
It's just everybody's so quick to grab a gun to deal with the problem now. And what is it, the Wild West again?
Yeah.
I just
Oh no,
don't get
Wild
it.
West was 10 times worse than what we're dealing
Yeah.
with.
And if they
Crime
outlaw
Time-
guns, only criminals are going to have them.
If they
Crime
outlaw
Time-
guns, if they even try to outlaw guns, it's going to be a problem.
It started a damn civil war.
Probably.
Okay, Crime Time said, is there a law in letting him play with it and make videos? Not that I know of. I mean, if you, if your child is, old enough and, you teach them how to use a gun, whether you're going hunting or to the shooting range or they're taking a gun safety course or whatever, making a video, I would tell my kid to take that down. I would be like, no. But as far as the law, I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, I don't get that though, Brooks, because my neighbor was at a gun range and he was firing his dad's 308 and he put it online on Facebook. 3 days later, the FBI came knocking on his door.
Are you serious?
Yep.
I am totally serious.
Good Lord, but this kid had, because his Instagram, from what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, was screaming he was a ticking time bomb. What the hell? I mean,
Exactly.
if I say shit, I get a 30-day ban on Facebook and Instagram. But they can
Right.
put videos up like that. And no, just me, you're right. The guns aren't the problem. We got a people problem. We got a people problem and a school safety problem. Hang on, Clark's coming up.
All right.
Clark, what's up, my friend?
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Clark.
Hello.
Treat. This is a treat. Clark came up to say hi.
I know, right? I know.
What are your thoughts?
This one's really sad. It's just hard because you can't, geez, people have to have a license for fishing, not to have children, and we can't control how people raise their kids. So, what do you do? Like they're out there getting bullied by kids who are being raised and being bullied by either their siblings or their parents. Then they're coming into the schools. It's just sad. It's sad.
It is sad. It's awful. And they think, well, they're being bullied. I got bullied. They'll get over it. Or
Right.
they are the bully, and that's how it should be because, that they're being assertive. That's their self-esteem, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're thinking inside. And a kid certainly doesn't realize that what they do to, show them not to treat them that way has lifelong consequences. They'll be in jail for the rest of their life. I still want to know what they're going to charge the parents with.
I know. I wonder how they can, if they don't have a law that the guns had to be locked up, how are they going to get around that? I don't know.
Hang on. Janet, where did you see this? His Instagram had the gun and said, this is the gun I'm bringing to school to kill everyone with. Where did you see that? I've seen his
Wow,
Instagram.
that would be a big one.
Well, that would be all over the mainstream media. That would be everywhere. Do you have a screenshot of that, Janet? If you do, please email me. I really want to see that. I'm not calling you a liar, but I know there's a lot of spoofs out there. There's a lot of people that are making stuff up. I saw his Instagram. I didn't see anything like that, or I would be putting it up here.
Yeah.
Kevin said he chose to mute himself.
No, I'm here. What's up? Yeah.
What?
I don't think these parents can be charged with that. It's not a law. So they can't charge them for that unless wouldn't it be like if they take them to court and they maybe win? But if it's not a law, you can't charge them with that, can you?
For not locking their gun up if it's not a law? No.
Right. Exactly. So I don't
Not
think they're
even-
going to get in trouble for that.
they may come back and get the parents on the verbal abuse and physical abuse of what they have done and neglected on alcohol and all the other stuff. I mean, they can
Yeah,
get them on
civil
that.
court.
Yeah, in civil. I think there's a civil suit, but I don't think there is a criminal suit for not locking their gun up. No, there's no law. So it comes down to common sense, really.
I mean, it could also come down to, like they were saying, if there was something in a meeting with this kid and he said something, you know,
Mm-hmm.
not,
That's what the big. This is what's going to be the big evidence that they haven't said yet. And I'll bet
yeah,
you that that kid said something to where he should have never been allowed to go back to class. He should have been immediately told him to leave, and they
Especially
didn't.
if he was putting stuff on Instagram saying he had
Right.
plans to do this.
He should have been
Yeah.
immediately expelled for the rest of the year.
Yep.
Yeah. He should have been allowed to come back into school. Crime Time said there's 80 schools closed today because of this. I'm telling you something right now, and it's very sad to even say this because I say it after every school shooting. And yeah, I just had to say that every school shooting. If I had children in school right now, I would be at the next school board meeting. I'd be yelling the loudest saying, what are we doing to protect these classrooms and these hallways?
You know what's weird? I live in.
Hang on, my taxpayer
Yeah.
dollars
yeah,
are keep the, every time you guys have a bond, I go and I vote yes for the bond. What are you doing to keep my kids safe? I would be at that
Yeah.
school board meeting asking.
Yeah, you know what's weird? I live in Michigan, and my grandkids went to school today.
Oh,
But yet there's 80 schools closed. I wonder where. In other states, I don't think they closed the schools in Michigan. Maybe the school where it happened. Are they back in class?
no,
At
there's
that high
Main
60,
ones,
there's
probably.
60, there's 60 schools closed in Michigan right now. And
Wow.
they go back to class on Monday.
Huh. Well, not my town.
Maybe they didn't get the memo, Kevin. You better go tell them.
Yeah. Oh.
Why don't they put the
He doesn't want
TSA
them
at the
home today.
school?
What was that?
I said put when you get on the plane, the people who check you and everything, put them
A
in the
TSA.
schools.
Yeah.
Yeah, they keep the guns off the planes. They'll keep them out of the schools.
Mhm.
Can you imagine what a
definitely need more
circus that
money.
would be? Yeah, can you imagine what a circus that would be?
Probably.
All the kids having to put their backpacks on a conveyor, take their shoes off and all that. Can you imagine what kind of chaos would break out in the lines? Oh my God. It's hard enough to get a kid to clean his room up. Imagine putting them in a TSA line by themselves. Oh God.
They do it
Was this a-
200. They do it 200,000 times a day at the Atlanta airport.
Yep. But
Was
it's
this a
not a
rifle
whole
or a
kindergarten class.
Was this a rifle or a handgun?
Handgun, 9mm, sour.
Okay, because I'm gonna say, if you brought an AR-15 and nobody saw him walking in with a rifle. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, no, it was a 9mm. His dad bought it on Black Friday. And then you know what's ironic is during the school meeting that day, the kid had the gun in his backpack and he's sitting right there.
Oh my God. See, that's where
Yeah.
you have to wonder what in the world.
Yeah.
If my child was shot, one of the kids shot, I'd be going after the school.
Yep. That's exactly what's going to happen next. That school is in trouble, in my opinion.
Okay, Clark. I actually have that written down. One of my points I was going to talk about. If the parents of the victims start suing the school district, and the state, maybe stuff will change. It's always when you hit them in the pocket. You're exactly right, Clark.
Yep.
I don't think that's ever been done before.
Well, it might just happen on this case.
Yeah.
Not as I think of, Brooks. I haven't heard anybody going after that like that.
Yeah,
Well,
that kid was sitting there.
we will see many lawsuits against the school district now that it's come out that the school knew he was troubled. Yeah, sue the school. They talked to him that morning. They already had concerns.
That's what the breaking news is going to be. Is that they let him go back to class? He had the damn gun in his backpack. So
We gave him a whole pass.
Yep. Yep.
All right, I'm gonna jump out so somebody else can come up.
Well, I'm getting ready to close this down anyway. Because we have another show at 11 o'clock. It's about the protests that are getting ready to start on Ben Hill Road about Summer Wells. Gonna be wild.
Not gonna go well.
Wow.
Yeah.
So hey, Matrix, thanks for coming up. We'll see you at 11 a.m. Central. Outlaw Trucker, as always, my friend, thanks for coming up. Clark, this was a great treat. You coming up to say hi.
Hello. Yeah, we'll see you soon.
For sure.
Don't be shy. Come up anytime. All right. I want to thank everybody for being here and talking about such an important matter. You guys were respectful. We all, had great ideas, great opinions. We have the best chat on YouTube. You can't convince me otherwise. Sorry. This was a great show, a very, very heated topic, and everyone kept it intelligent, kept it classy. And as always, we can't thank you guys enough. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share this video, give us a like or a dislike, whatever, leave us a comment after, because we love seeing your comments after the show. If you want to join the Discord and chat between shows, send an email and we'll get you a link. Yep, there was no fighting, and this was a very heated topic. I mean, you guys are always awesome. Always, always awesome. So we're going to see you back here in about 45 minutes. So everyone, come back and go get yourself some more coffee or have lunch or whatever. And like I said, we'll be back in a little bit.
Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye. Hurry back.